Stranger Things Season 5 took around $450 million to make. That's more than Lord of the Rings and Avatar. That makes it one of, if not the most expensive VFX work done ever. And today, I'm gonna do it with $0 and with AI. So in order for this to work, we need to set some ground rules, or at least preference a few things. Number one, in no way is this to encourage AI slop. This experiment is meant to be looked at as much more of a discussional viewpoint. We aren't going to completely tell AI what to do. We're going to keep the creative side of things and view AI more as a assistance in categories that I'm not necessarily trained in, or that I don't have $500 million laying around. Because of this, the idea is to see how capable AI is with bare bone prompts. And number two, we're going to be utilizing a multitude of AI tools. This is to see how effective each one is and which ones could actually be considered to be used in Hollywood movies. Let's get started. The first step is to write out our script and shot list. Once this is done, we can move to preparing for filming. I got an idea while I was creating the shot list. In order to push the AI system to its absolute limit, I wanted to parallel my shots. What I mean by this is to plan ahead and cater to the AI tools so that I can create two stories in one take. For this example, we're going to create a Stranger Things film and a Five Nights at Freddy's film. Same exact shots used, two separate stories created. More on this later. Now with all of our shots lined up, it's time to explain the actual story of what's going on. We start with the reveal of our two characters, appearing to be running from something. We're going to get a sliding shot to reveal to the audience the current state of our main characters.
I can't wait to just listen back to this.
The plot will further through one of our characters grabbing something from their bag. This will reveal our first AI tool. We will be using AI to replace an item in our movie. In the raw footage, I am holding Abuelita's hot chocolate. After we plug the shot into the AI machine, we will attempt to replace hot chocolate with a radio from Stranger Things, and correspondingly, we will put a fast talker for Five Nights at Freddy's. This will lead the plot straight to our monster reveal, with our first shot being one of our characters facing away from the monster, then a sliding shot to exaggerate the current emotions of our protagonists, and finally, a full standalone shot of our monster in the living room. And it's finally time to see what this AI machine is really capable of. Now keep in mind, I'm purely testing limitations of these AI models. These prompts aren't meant to be super detailed. I want to see the different animation demeanors that the AI models give these different monsters. Now this whole process is going to be done through the Higgsfield AI website. They have access to most models. Not sponsored or anything, but Higgsfield hit my line. I don't have a line. I don't have a line. My first attempt was to change the Abuelita's hot chocolate in my hand, and the results were mind-blowing. It absolutely crushed the fast talker and radio. But now it was time for the monster. The hardest part about putting these monsters in my environment is actually the model's restrictions. See, these different AI models have certain copyright restrictions. If you give it a picture of Freddy Fazbear or a Demogorgon, it's gonna say it goes straight into their copyright restriction. But there are ways to bypass this. Through multiple attempts, I found for whatever reason, the keyword monster worked. When I gave it an image and I tied the correlation of the image to my prompt, I just used the keyword monster versus realistically anything else that I tried, and for whatever reason the monster word worked. So first things first is I did an AI image generation of a Demogorgon standing in my living room with its mouth closed. I proceeded to do another one with its mouth open. I then used Higgsfield AI video generator, and they have multiple different models for this. The one we went ahead and used specializes in consistency, so that when you're doing different shots and you have a specific monster or item in mind, it keeps the consistency of that model. So for this, I put my starting frame as the mouth closed Demogorgon and my end frame as the mouth open Demogorgon. Now keep in mind, I didn't tell it to do really any movements. I did tell it to open its mouth, but not necessarily how or any kind of animalistic behavior. I also had to get a shot of it coming around the corner, and it came out looking like this. It's actually really impressive considering that I literally just told it, hey, there's a wall to the right of this frame. Make sure that the monster comes out on the side and it looks like it's turning the corner. That means that the AI was able to understand the wall, understand the different environment spaces, and actually put a model there and have it clip out as it crossed the corner. Now, I believe I could get better results of it turning the corner in the actual shot of the monster through a better prompt, but this process was simply me at my actual job. I was bussing tables, and I brought my laptop, and I literally put it all together, and I used a single prompt of just saying to have it enter the atmosphere and to match the lighting of the environment. And with just putting that, it was able to put a shadow on its feet. It was able to match the campfire lighting coming from its right side and a lamp coming from its left side. Now, in order to come up with these results, normally you would need to create what is called a 3D camera space. Look at these scenes from Stranger Things Season 4. They had to completely model Vecna to match his real-life makeup and then apply him in the environment for scenes that he's not actually there. And I mean like the actor not being there. If he is behind something and they need to put the model of Vecna, not the actor there, that would mean that they need to create a whole 3D space and utilize assets to bring the scene alive. My video was done through a couple of clips and a single prompt. This cost me $0 and about 30 minutes of my time. Now, I did end up goofing up. I attempted a masked shot in my living room hallway. If you haven't seen a masked shot before, it usually consists of like a blank shot, and then if you want to put something like an object there, you just kind of overlay them together, and you're able to mask that object on the blank shot behind it, which then makes it give the illusion of one singular shot. For this example, if we're standing in the hallway, I went ahead and got a blank shot of just the hallway so that I could merge these two shots together and make it look like the monster is really there. Now, unfortunately, on filming day, I just kind of blanked certain details, and I was standing in the way of the environment, so I couldn't necessarily just mask it. I had to go ahead and crop both characters out and overlay it on the monster video. So without any more distractions or explanations, here is my Stranger Things teaser.
What are you grabbing?
This. Hello. Come in. Is anyone there? Hello? Run. Now, I love how this turned out. To be quite frank, it's one of the most ambitious, if not the most ambitious project I've ever really done. It started out as just kind of my own meddling with these AI tools to kind of see, and then I was so shocked by it that I had to create a video on it to kind of put into a little bit more perspective. The Five Nights at Freddy's one, here's a little preview of that. I believe that one turned out just phenomenal. So this video essentially is a couple of shots that took about like an hour or two to film, using like couple sentence prompts and then doing full sound design, which is a category that I'm slowly getting better at. I'm loving doing it. To be honest, it's so much fun for no reason. But I am going to be making a second video on the Five Nights at Freddy's one. It's fully done. I just need to kind of do a recording like this and talk over it. And I fully invite you to conversation, to make this a discussion statement. Where is the line of AI slop? What is that? One of the examples that comes to my mind is Spider-Man No Way Home. When they decided to throw a brick into Peter Parker's room and then Daredevil ends up catching it, they ended up using it in behind the scenes like a literal, just like, it was like a globe, I think is what it was. And later in post, they used CGI and VFX to replace it as the brick because they weren't fully sure during filming what they wanted the item to be. Now, similar to Abuelita's hot chocolate, I replaced that with a fast talker that looked almost identical to the movie. In fact, I was literally mind blown. It didn't say any copyright, didn't say anything. It just formed it in honestly, a couple of seconds. If you have any kind of questions or something that you want me to try, I will be reading the comment. Outside of that, I appreciate your time. Drink some water, and you have a good one.